Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and this is my Pet Readings show where I deliver messages out to you from your past pets, or if you have questions about your living pets, I can tap in with their energy. Anything goes. I do ask that you include the first name of the pet that you're referring to or their nickname. And you can, also book this privately. All right. So if you want to gift this to someone else, if you know that they're grieving, if you want to do a pet reading at any time for your little babies, you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com, and just click on pet readings. All right. Now, who do we have first? Let's go ahead and get started. Abby is first. I lost my cat, Toofy, Toofy. 4 months ago. I keep seeing black cats on the daily. Feel him around. What message is he sending? I'm so sorry for your loss. And that's really recent. I feel like what he's trying to do at this point is just get your attention. So there's an attempt. It feels like every other day or every 3 days, he's making an attempt. He's conserving all his energy. He's pulling his energy together to be able to do things that are very visual for you at this point. He's trying to ultimately show up in your dreams better for longer, extended periods of time. Right now, that is very brief. I'm not sure he's pulling it off much at all. Although you may have noticed him in one dream so far, at a bit of a distance, sitting. I don't think he was walking through. I think he was sitting. So I think he was able to pull that off. But you may also be noticing at the time when there's a manifestation where you're seeing these other cats, or you feel like you're seeing him, whether it be out of the corner of your eye, you have a sense that he's there with you. You may notice simultaneously fluctuation in technology, draining of batteries, light bulbs blowing out. He's using, because he doesn't have enough of his own energy yet, he hasn't been on the other side long enough. He's using a combination of his energy and then stealing from technology, batteries, of the electricity, anything he can to communicate with you, to manifest, a visual for you. So that's his big goal. His message to you is just thank you and I love you. I'm here with you. He was a big support to you. He keeps using the word support. He loved supporting you, and he has an overwhelming drive to remind you that he is still here supporting you. So he may often come through and there really isn't a much bigger message beyond that, that he's here with you. He's watching over you. He wants to give back to you also the love that you gave to him, the caretaking that you gave to him. I do feel like he was quite spoiled. I feel like he had a lot of toys. I feel like he was never without entertainment or treats. And I feel that he had a lovely, full life. You may have also rescued him from something or helped him get away from something in his younger years. It seems like there was some difficulty there. You agree, Mama? You do? Okay. As Esmeralda Marie agrees with that. Okay. So, which is kind of funny because this is my black cat and I rescued her off the streets. Anywho, okay. There is this sense here of like gratitude also for early beginnings. And, just, he just wants you to know, I feel like even in the end, you did what was best for him. You did what was loving for him. You were always very focused on him. And he loves you very much. Okay. But I just think you'll be hearing more from him. I also think you'll be seeing him for longer periods in dreams. So that'll be the next big thing. And music, watch for songs as well. Okay. We are going to move on to another one. Thank you, Abby. Deanna Marie on YouTube. What is something Marty, my living dog, would like me to know right now? Okay, Marty. So yes, please include the first name or nickname of your pet and what they are. Okay, and whether they're living or deceased. Okay, so living dog, Marty. What does he want you to know? He's kind of funny because there's this dichotomy here. Like he wants to go on more adventures, but he doesn't really want to be bothered to go anywhere at all. And he's selective about where he goes. So it's like, I want to go on more adventures. And then it's like, but not there, or not then, or like not with that, it's so he seems to be pretty set. I think you've done a great job making sure that he has everything that he needs, that he's very satisfied, he's happy. He would like to maybe get out on the town and shake it up a little bit more. I think he has some interest in being around like other dogs that he likes. So there is a desire to sort of expand out into more friendships. So whether you do this with like mutual family dogs or friends dogs, or even at a dog park, I feel like he's ready to invest in that a little bit more. I feel like his big thing though really is going to be, especially as the weather gets warmer, I think it's going to be laying in the sun. I think it's going to be feeling the heat, or like laying on the grass, like being out in nature and being able to do that sort of without supervision. So this could be like in the yard, for example, but it's like, I'm happy just chewing on this thing. I can't tell if this is like a bone over here. I have a ball over here. I have some rawhide thing over there. I have some rope thing. It's like all these, toys. It's like, I just want to lay there and I want to chew on something in the sun. Like, can I have more of that? Trying to see if there's anything else. He doesn't like when you get stressed, I guess I would say, is the only other message really coming through here. It's like protecting you from, whether this is an authority figure or this is like a male in your life, take it how it resonates. There could be someone you have shared resources with, or a lot of like shared agendas. This person may stress you out, but I think it's really anything in your life that stresses you out. He gets real nervous about that. Like he may bite at his feet and he tries to figure out ways to like fix it for you, but you're very walled off. You're very like there's no, you can't hear anything. You don't want to accept help. He will sort of obsessively come near you and try to either give you healing, but you would prefer to be alone, or he stares at you a lot, and it's like, he would just like you to be a little more receptive to accepting the healing that he's giving, because it's not as bothersome as it is really effective if you let it in. All right. So it's reducing your stress levels. He feels like that is 100% his job, and it is, in the universal scheme of things, it really is. But he loves you. He's very happy. He just adores you. He just wants to watch you all the time. He's happy if he can watch you. Also, if you wouldn't mind leaving some music or something on when you leave the house, that would be great. Not the news, but like some type of sound, some type of music would be great. Good Lord, Ezzy, come and join us. This is all about you. It's all about you. You can come up. Come on up. No, don't. We're not doing that. Just going to leave me a bloody mess over here. All right, let's move on to another one. Stop it. Stop. She sits on this toy I get her and like breaks the motor. It's the only toy she really loves to play with. And she just went through her 5th one last night, just sitting on it until it broke. And now she wants to try to make me her hunting toy. Scotty on TikTok, for my cat Star living. Okay, so there's no question with this. It's just any type of message. Okay, living Star cat. All right. So when I go over here with Star, I feel a little bit like I'm slowing down. This is a feeling of getting a little bit older. This is a feeling of like, I would prefer, instead of doing wild, crazy things or batting stuff around or like having the zoomies, I would almost prefer to just sit here for longer periods of time and enjoy my space. So there is a little bit of this defensive energy of like, no, don't come in and ruin it for me. Okay. Anyone, anything, like, let me just sit here and enjoy my space. So I think this is definitely a cat as they're sort of growing up. You want to make sure you're giving more. It's like, all of us, I think, have a tendency to kind of work around the cat, instead of being like, hey, I'm going to flop down on the couch where you were just sitting on the back, and I'm going to like, love on you. And so that's not how you treat a cat. I think, this, I just think it's like increasing. So, Star has a sense of ownership over space. And it's like, how dare anyone, okay, when I'm relaxing over here, come into my space. And work with that the best that you can. You may be a little bit limited on space, though, is how I feel. Also, I'm watching Star hide, like up high, and stare at you or stare at different situations or activities that are going on. So there's this sense of like hiding and no one knows I'm here. I disagree. I can clearly see him there, but there is a lot of happiness that comes from that. It's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's almost like you're being hunted in a way. I do think that there's a sort of playfulness that goes on here between the two of you, and a very soothing, sort of calming. So I think this is you petting Star. I think this is you just giving love, and also possibly when you're sleeping, like allowing them on your feet or legs. So this right now is a happy, contented transition, okay, from what feels like younger wild energy into this older energy. I do think that food is really important here, and there are some kinds of food it's like he won't touch. I don't want to deal with this at all. So I think you're paying more attention. And I do wonder if that was causing an upset stomach for a while. Also possibly somebody else coming through, someone else in the space causing stress. So there could have been some bathroom disturbances going on there for a while, but I think it's stabilizing with the foods that he really likes. Not bringing in anything else, okay, that's even half liked, because this is a cat that doesn't like certain foods because they upset the stomach. This isn't a cat that's like, well, it's not for my palate. There are bigger reasons there for that. So just something to keep in mind. And yes, I think Star doesn't adjust very well to a lot of changes in the environment or a lot of stressful people. Okay. There's a lot of love, a lot of healing that goes on there between the two of you. I feel like on a daily basis. I do feel like you're top priority. Absolutely. So yeah, things look good. Just a little settling in the environment would be great. Deanna Alt says, thank you so much. You are so welcome, Deanna. And we have next is Edgar. Edgar says, my neighbor has a fluffy white cat named Patches. Patches always says hi to me. Does Patches have messages for me? I think it's a female cat. I'm not sure. Okay. I feel like Patches wants to come live with you. So yeah, I'm feeling like if you were to let this cat in, I'm not saying this cat would never go home, but it's almost like I would prefer to live with you, which, would be like a 50-50 split. For those of you who have indoor-outdoor cats, that actually happens a lot. Like your cat's cheating on you with an entirely different cat family, or even going in and out of businesses. Like everybody knows them and everyone celebrates his cat all over town. You're like, what? I agree. Do you want to come up here? I love you. So, there is this sense of wanting to be with you more, spend more time, be near you more. There you go, mama. What's up, catnip? And I think any additional time, you could really give him, you might be surprised at how long, she'll sit with you. She'll sort of stay with you. She's got this sort of attitude of like, I'm busy in the world. I'm busy in the neighborhood. But I think when it comes down to you, she can kind of walk off, like she's going to go on to something else, and then, comes right back. It's like, she's bluffing, she's bluffing that she's going to leave. So there's also a sense here of the two of you working together a little bit in the way she uplifts your energy, I do feel like she may take a particular liking to you because you need a little bit of heart healing in regards to your past pets, your past cats in specifically. Not necessarily that they looked just like her, but they kind of acted just like her. And I think she's trying to bring you some healing with that, letting you know that they're in a good place and that she can offer you that love and that support without you having to fully invest, okay, in ownership over her, bringing her in, and that it's always there. Okay, that the world will always provide you. I would say her ultimate message here is just that the universe will always provide you with who and what you need. Okay, and will bring healing to you in these sort of unexpected ways. And it's really cute. Really cute. I don't know if you have a porch too, or if you kind of setting something up outside, but it seems like, she's the kind that would love to sit on other people's porches. This could be your car as well, but we'll see. Maybe as things get a little bit warmer. All right, thank you. We are going to move on to another one. This is from Angela Noor. My cat Lily passed. Does she want to say anything to me? Okay, Lily, who is passed. And this was for, I'm sorry, I didn't write it down fast enough. Who is this for again? Angela. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. All right, Angela, Lily, who passed. What does she want to say? I feel like you may have a display area, whether these are like her ashes. I see some, I don't know, these look like statues, not pictures, but take it how it resonates. Images, I want to say, okay, of cats. And I feel like I'm in the living room and like lower, okay, so just slightly to the left. You seem to have a memorial space for her. There may also be, whether this was like her bed or things that she enjoyed playing with, it's like items of hers. These may have been hard to move, okay, or get rid of, but I feel like you're doing the best that you can to honor her by talking to her, expecting visits from her through mediumship, but not clinging to weird objects, not clinging to what was. And she enjoys this because you're very open-minded. That is one of the things she always loved about you, is that you gave her a life that was like as expansive as it could have been. You were always looking for something new, something that she would enjoy. I'm assuming I'm looking at scratch pads also. Okay. But it's like something she could, do, what do they call it? Like kneading with, or literally sharpen her nails, whatever this is. She enjoyed that, but you were always looking for things like that. And something about whether it be like catnip or grass or green foods, you were bringing these in regularly. And she said that you kept things peaceful in the house. You made sure that there wasn't a bunch of like chaos. Like you have a sort of no nonsense attitude about people in the house, situations in the house, maybe the way you communicate, with other people. You're not open to a bunch of nonsense in the house. And I think that she really needed that type of lifestyle more than you realize. Okay, so she's very grateful for that. She knows that you love her. Yes. Okay, also. You're always like, do you know how much I love you? I love you. Does she know? Yes, she knows that you love her and she loves you too. I would also expect to see her in a dream. She's saying one, would it be tonight? I would say tonight or tomorrow, I want to say, but like within the week, I see one special dream that she comes through, and she seems to be very, doing the best that she can to stick around for a while. So normally with visit dreams from pets, they're incredibly brief. Like you see them walking, you see them at a distance, but you don't really get to interact. You don't really get to spend any time. And it can feel very much like a distance, making you wonder if it was even real because you didn't get to like pet them or hold them. But it is real. Okay. But she's good. She's pretty good at like the long game in this, which takes a lot of energy. So expect to see her for a little bit in that dream. She loves you. And thank you. I feel like also the way with her passing, that was hard for you. And thank you. Okay. You did the right thing. And we are going to move on to another one. This is for Tiffany. So Tiffany says, I want to connect with Theodore, my first cat who passed. Okay. Tiffany and Theodore. Theodore, first cat to pass. Well, it's just Theodore. My God, Ezzy. There's nothing more I could do for you. I really cannot. I love you. You can come sit. Let me see what he's talking about here. He seems like an old man. He really has this way about him of being like sort of old, stable, kind of funny, like would surprise you with his personality, but seems very much focused on it's like giving you attention, getting your attention, and whatever else he would be focused on, whether this was like hunting or playing with something very specific, he has a little bit of dog energy, honestly. So I do wonder if he was a dog before this last life, because it's like a dog on a bone, or a dog on a toy. But I think that watching over you in time has been more about making sure that you receive the support you need, especially when you're sleeping or at night, in the sleep state, in the meditational states, when you're walking, when you're in motion meditation, when you're doing anything like this. This is really where he shines, and this is where he comes through, trying to make sure that you understand how much support you actually have. And it's almost like lately you've been wrestling a bit with feeling not isolated per se, but like the world is on your shoulders and there isn't anyone else to do these things, to fix this, to get it done, but you. It's like you're the only one. Okay. And I also get a little bit of a sense like you don't, how do I want to say this? Maybe you feel like people don't really understand you. There can be a sense here of not necessarily isolation, but I would say a little bit of loneliness from feeling as though you're not completely understood. Okay. And I think this is something that the two of you had together, was that he always really understood you. I have him like looking in your eyes and looking into your soul. And there's a beautiful connection here. Just know he's still doing this. He comes around regularly. I want to say once a week. Yeah. Keep watching, but mostly, this is when you're relaxed, when you're meditating, when you're walking, when you're sleeping at night. Okay. At times like that. She wants to go in here and I'm going to let her. So maybe she will quiet down a little bit. You want to go in? You? Here. Go. Have at it. Okay. There's nothing in there, but whatever. Okay. Let's move on to another one. Carolyn Pinkins, 6502, says, just watching from Belgium. Welcome. Thank you so much for saying hello. Yes, if everyone could please drop in the comment section right now where you're tuning in from. I love to know. Please also give this video a thumbs up. All right, and share it. And we are going to move on to Tanya. That's enough, Ezzy. Seriously. Tanya Rivera says, hi, I paid through Cash App, but I'm paying for a reading for my mom. Okay, so this is not for Tanya. This is for Donna. All right. And Donna says she would like to see who comes through. Thank you. Her dog, Bella, who is deceased. Okay, so we're going to go with Bella. All right. Bella, dog, deceased. Bella. Okay. When Bella comes in here, she feels awfully young. She feels very like spry. She feels very like a sprite, like a fairy bounces. I have her bouncing. But I feel like she's older, and something about the hips. less on the left side, more on the right, but definitely both, like counteracting or an attempt in the way that she would walk to prevent the hips from being aggravated, but it didn't always work very well. She is, I want to say, feeling better, feeling more free. There may have also been something, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but there could have been something in the heart or throughout the chest area before her passing that caused her to, it's almost like feel anxious, or my heart's racing, or like I don't know if my heart can keep up with this, or I don't know if my body can keep up with this. It's almost like an anxiety attack type of thing, okay? But it's more organ based than it is nervous system related, if that makes some sense. She was, I want to say, very aware of her body. She was very aware of problems. She was aware of not only her emotional state, but also Donna. So, Donna, she was aware of your emotional state. She was your, so she was your caretaker. So she was emotionally your caretaker. You may be a very nervous person, or you have a tendency to think about a lot of things, like worst case scenario, or I have to fix things, or I have to always be busy, or my mind's always busy. Take it out resonates. But she had a way of coming in and trying to calm you down and get you more centered and, just be in the here and now. Let's just enjoy each other's company and relax. And, I think that what happens now is that she mostly comes through to visit you when, one, you're missing her. And there also seems to be a male around. So I don't know if at the time of her passing, there was also a male there. He may be around regularly. Okay. But she's also giving love out there. But I also feel like she comes through with you when you need that. Like, not necessarily to calm down, but you need to shut your mind off. All right. And she just pops in, and your mind just seems to go from busy, busy, busy to just a sailboat, in the ocean, in life itself, and everything's okay where I'm at right now. I have her also trying to sleep on your feet. All right, so I think you can feel her there. Something about seeing her out of the corner of the eye too, and I'm trying to figure out what part of the house I'm in here. It's like I'm going down a hallway, and I swear to God I see her. I swear to God I see her to the left. Like literally with my eyes, not clairvoyance, not my head, not my mind's eye. Literally, I see her right over there. And then it's like she goes around the corner. I think you are seeing her. If you haven't yet, pay attention. Okay. But again, there's a hallway, and it's like off to the left. I don't know what's over there. I'm assuming a living room, but it feels like her things are over there as well. So it could have been like where her bed and stuff was, one of her beds. She loves you very much. And we'll continue to come around. Yep. Especially over the upcoming month. I feel you're going to get a few visits. Caroline Pinkins says, I like your energy, and I like to listen to this. That's awesome. Well, I do 3 shows a week, so you are more than welcome. I love your energy too. Thank you. We have Ara May and Maggie Smoles from Toronto. Beautiful. All right. Fun. Love Canada. Good to see you guys. And for anyone else, you can just pop up the next one whenever it's ready. But for anyone tuning in late, we're doing pet readings tonight. So for your living or past pets, I'm a pet psychic, which means I can connect with your living pets. If you have questions about like their behavior, their diet, their health, anything under the sun, their past, and with your pets that are deceased, I can connect with them through mediumship. So if you have messages you want to deliver or messages you want to receive, we can also do it that way. All right. We have Tanya Rivera says, thank you, Ivy. You're very welcome, Tanya. And thank you, Melakashin, for the, I see. Is that a $20 payment? Okay. That may be for 2 questions. TikTok. Andrea is up next. Is my cat Sunny in pain? He is living. Okay, Sunny, cat, living. Is he in pain? And that was for, I'm sorry, who is that for? Andrea. Okay. Andrea's cat Sunny. Where's Sunny? I feel like he is in some pain. This is starting in the stomach and the organs, and this is radiating, up through, and I can't prescribe or diagnose, but it's radiating up through the neck, um, almost like a thyroid, or like if we were to say, I feel like I'm coming down with something, my glands hurt. My glands are swollen. It's sort of an obsession with like, what is this lump, or what is this pain, or what is this thing? So it seems to go up. Mostly on the left side is how I'm experiencing this. Take it how it resonates. There's also something going on with like the sinuses, the head. So we would say from the lungs to the top of the head. There's something happening there that may be coming out through like the eyes, the nasal drainage, things like this. But it almost reminds me of when, like, if you have a horrible cold or something and you just have like a headache that just barely ever goes away. So there is some head pain. Okay, because of that, like pressure, that's a better way to say that, I think. Pressure, especially in the front. And he complains about his feet also. Like, why do my feet hurt? He seems a little bit like an old man in this, where it's reminds me of something arthritic, maybe. Because it's like my feet hurt, but not in the pads, more like in the bones. It's like not under here, but up here. It hurts at the joints in that sense. Now, this is the other side of the body. So on the right side, I got some shooting pain. There's also something about like a dry tongue or a dry mouth or something in the back of my throat. So I don't know if he's been like making hacking sounds, or almost like it sounds like he's going to cough up a hairball, but he doesn't cough up a hairball. It's like, what is he doing? There's something in the back of his throat. And if that hasn't started, just know, again, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but just know that may become an issue. So it's like, and you're wondering, is he in pain with that? I think it's more of an annoyance. There's this feeling like something is stuck, so that could cause some level of anxiety, and it could become very difficult for him to sleep. He's in some discomfort. Yes, he is. I'm sorry, I don't have something more positive to say about that. I don't know that a lot of this can really be fixed. I almost get the sense that it could be overlooked. So like the vet may say, I see this and this and this, but is missing some of the other things that really bother him, things that aren't necessarily coming up on the tests. So, there's that also. All right. Thank you for your question, Andrea. We're going to move on to another one. This is pet reading question. Hello, my name is Christina. My cat is Binks, Binx. He just passed 10 days ago. Okay. Is she happy where she is? And any messages from my girl? I miss her so much. Okay. This is Binks for, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name again. Christina. Okay. We're going to have to go a little bit slower on this tonight, Diana, because I am like wrecked, okay, with this like cold that I have. Christina is asking about Binks, who passed, 10 days ago. Messages from the cat. Let's see what's going on. Binks. Much happier. Much happier. She says that you gave her the world and then some. She was incredibly spoiled. I don't have to tell you how spoiled she was, but she was like whatever she wanted, whatever, like queen of the house, like ran the schedule, ran the house, ran the room, wherever she would walk in. It was like everything is about Binks. Binksy. There's this sense here of feeling though. Like, even though I ran everything, even though I had everything and then some, even though you loved me, to the moon and back, and then some, I was trapped. My ear hurts so bad right now, and it's not my cold. Like, her ear was, and I don't know if the vets had you giving her even drops for this, but it's like worse than an infection. I can't even really explain what I'm feeling here, other than just like a constant gnawing pain, an annoyance, and down her neck, her spine hurt. She had some things going on in her body. She said like We don't have to go through all of it, okay? But it was feeling more like a trap, and she wasn't able to be as like silly and bouncy and do as much, not that she really cared, okay, about that, but like she wasn't interested in doing anything, but she, that part of her personality is back, where she's like interested in a lot of things. Okay, she wants to be more playful, she wants to go more places. This includes her visiting you. She's pretty good at dreams already, so she may be coming through in a dream. I don't know if you're waiting for like her ashes, or it's like I'm waiting on something. It also feels like a piece of paper. So you may also be like making a plaque, like an image of her, or it's like I'm waiting for this to be done. A memorial. You may be creating a memorial area for her. I do feel like I'm in the living room, is slightly over to the right, but wherever you decide to put this, just know she hears you, she sees you, and she loves you. And you gave her everything, and that's what she really wants you to remember. Her biggest message to you is that you gave me everything and then some. You loved me like to the moon and back and then some. Okay, and that's how much I love you. And I'm grateful. She may have also ended up in some bad situations had you not kept her or taken her in or whatever this is. So you rescued her in some ways that you may not even be fully aware of, because those other avenues didn't have to happen for her, and she's eternally grateful. Okay. Two other people too, like either in the house or in the family, she keeps an eye on. So she'll be visiting, doing the rounds, doing the rounds. She likes to pop in dreams, doing the rounds. I'm so sorry for your loss. 10 days is really so fresh. It's all you could do at the 10-day mark, even at the couple month mark. It's like some days all you could do is cry. You just sort of let it out. You just keep, try to pick up and just keep going. But we are sending you love. Let's move on to, this is Tiffany said from TikTok. Thank you, Ivy. You really nailed it with my cat, Theodore. I love that cat more than my husband. I could tell. He knew. He knows. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. I opened the door for you, miss. There's literally nothing more I can do. There's nothing more. Oh. I would pick her up, okay? If anyone's watching this, you're like, why don't you just pick her up and put her on your lap? Because she will kill me and I'll end up in the ER. This was a feral cat, and she doesn't like any human on earth other than me, and even I'm not allowed to pick her up. If we're going to be that close to each other, she has to willingly come. So I would not dare try to lift her. I learned the hard way when she had to take flea meds. Okay, so let's move on to another one. Spidey K6P says, hearing from all these pets is very moving. I love it. Isn't it? They're the most amazing energy. And a little background on what animals are here on earth to do. They work with angels. I call it the triad. So we have angels, the healing entities in the universe. And then we have empaths on earth, the healing people of the earth. And then we have animals, and we all work together. So the animals are really here to bring healing to us and to help us with our journey. And it's amazing energy to be in. Yes, it is, Mama, even when it's incessant. Yes. And do we have any more questions coming in? This one is from Bethany Renner. Please, can you tell me about my kids' cat, Sadie, that lives at their dad's house? How is she doing? The kids miss her. Okay, so this is for Bethany. Sadie, cat at dad's. Okay, how's she doing? Let me tap in with her. You can come up here. Sadie, the cat at dad's house. Yeah, I think she's bored. I think she misses them. She seems to feel like there isn't a whole heck of a lot going on in life. So it could have also been that they have a way of like bringing all the energy, bringing all the entertainment, like giving her also the entertainment, the attention, that she wanted. There was a lot of back and forth there. But, there was also some stuff she doesn't mind not being there. So she's a very independent lady. I think that what she really wants, as far as they're concerned, is to have more of the interaction. that they brought, and it seems very quiet over there now. I also think that she has a sense of this being where she's supposed to be. Like she's okay with it if that's where she's meant to be. It could be that the dad needs a lot of healing. The dad has a lot of stuff going on. Let's just put it that way. And so she's got a lot of work to do, you know, but I do feel like she connects with them. You know, why are there so many dream messages in this show? Because we do karmic work. We connect with one another. We have visits with each other in the sleep state when we can't do it in the 3D. We do it in other dimensions. We do it through the sleep state. So, you know, that's something she does. So if they are having dreams, let them know about her. It's not them subconsciously creating that. Those are actual visit dreams. So she's using that regularly to spend time with them, because she also feels like her healing work was for them too. It feels like 2 kids in particular was for them. So yeah, but she's doing all right. You know, she's funny because you may think she has like a very specific type of personality, and then this other part of Sadie pops out and it's like, okay, she's completely, totally different. You know, that's not at all what I expected out of her behavior. Like, she's really a queen. She is. So she may surprise you. She's doing good. Let's move on to another one, but I'm really kind of out of paper here. Let's see what we want to do. Okay. Abby says, thank you, Ivy. We have missed him so much. He did come to me in a dream, and I welcomed him to come to me. Thank you for his message. You're very welcome. And you guys should be doing that, all right, with living or like living people or pets or recently deceased or in the process, right? We can ask them to come visit us in real time in the sleep state, and they certainly will. And the more energy we feed into it, the more likely it is that they'll do it. We have another question coming in here from Ices Trina. Said, okay, this is for Binks. Spot on for Binks. I'm making a memorial, and she's visited dreams already, even though she passed 10 days ago. And you're right. I feel she felt trapped on this earth too. This reading made me feel better. You're so welcome. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you for the testimony. So yes, making a memorial for Binks, and like literally every step of the way, Binks watching. You can't beat it. Communication changes, but it never stops. All right, we're going to move on to another one. I'd love to hear from years ago. I had to give up Teddy to my sister. He ran away and never returned. And this is for Spidey. Okay, so for Spidey wants to hear from Teddy. Oh, I had to give Teddy to my sister and then he ran away. Oh, okay. I feel like Teddy has passed, and I feel as though there was a lot of adventure. Okay, before. It's almost like living my life fully, living my life on my terms, doing the things that I want to do before the passing. But I do feel that there were a lot of problems, okay, with that. So it's like problems on the street, for example, just not really caught out. You know, it feels like Teddy's not always caught out for the streets. Not to say this was 100% an indoor cat. I mean, I'm really not even getting that, but there is a sense of like, I'm not cut out for these types of problems, or I'm not fast enough to deal with some of these problems, but that's okay. You know, so he comes through here like owning that, like I made my choices. I lived on my own terms. I had a full life. I do feel like you guys weren't meant, and this is the most important thing, or he said the main thing he wants you to know is that you really weren't supposed to be together for that long. I do think that when you like brought him in, for example, you may have known that, or you felt like maybe I shouldn't have brought him in, or like there's something about this dynamic that feels a little bit off from the beginning. It's just a little questionable. And there may have been some areas of tension, so whether it was like tension with your living situation or all these other things that you had to deal with, but it seems like it got chaotic. And then also, I don't know if he was making somebody sick, or seems to be some health stuff. I can't prescribe or diagnose, but ultimately it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be a forever home. It was a transitionary situation. Transitional. I don't even know if transitionary is a word. Is it? But it was a transitional situation from, like, how do I want to say this? He says that you helped him get to where he was meant to be. So it's almost like stepping stones, okay, to get to where he was meant to be. I also don't feel like he was meant to be here for a very long time in general. And your sister seems a little bit, I don't know, maybe discombobulated. I'm not saying she didn't care, but she does seem to sort of have her guard down a lot and just kind of, I don't know, in a world of her own. And so it allowed, he said it allowed for me to do what I needed to do, to go where I needed to go. Yeah, he was here for adventure. All right. Yeah, but he loves you and he's grateful to you. I feel like he thinks of you often. He's grateful to you. But he doesn't visit in the traditional way. He tends to come through like images, like cats that look like him, or like stuff on your computer, or cat videos, or it's almost like images of me. You get images of me. Okay, so that's the way he visits. It's almost through a symbolism of sorts. Yeah. And those are all just love. I'm giving you love. I'm reminding you of, like, also the magic of the universe, the magic of the world. Okay. We're all on these journeys and they mix and they match and they criss and they cross. So it's like a spider web, but not everything is just a straight line. And that's okay. It doesn't need to be. It's not supposed to be. Okay. Especially for you guys. You guys are very similar characters, actually. And your lives were very similar at the time when you got together. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that question. Do we have any more coming in? Pet reading for Arame from TikTok. All right. So let's see. ADAH. Adame. I think that's how you say that. Adame. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. From TikTok. And Living Pet Honey Dijon. Oh my God, Mustard. You're like me. This is Esmeralda Marie Rivera. So you've got Honey Dijon Mustard. You're wondering how to help my dog Honey Mustard with her reactivity with other dogs. Okay, reactivity dog. All right, let me jump in here. Honey Dijon. Mustard. What's going on with Mustard? There's just no thought process. Reactivity is a good word for it. It's like, I'm reactive. It's like, there's no thought process. There's no, some of this improves with age, because as we get older, we slow down. And so we are just by nature not having the same amount of energy as reactive. All right. But there's also, I feel like, a couple things you can do to kind of calm her down a bit beforehand. So one of the things is telepathy, all right? And you want to understand that the words you say to your pet, yes, they're important, but what's even more powerful is the telepathic communication that goes beyond words. So talking telepathically from wherever you are, of course, it's telepathy, so you don't even need to be near her, okay? But talking with her and telling her mentally, we are going to be around these other dogs, and I want you to prepare for that ahead of time. And I want you to take it more slowly as we enter. I want you to think more, slow down, okay? I want you to notice that you're safe. I want you to, basically, you're saying to her, I want you to react less. And I want you to slow down, okay? Notice that you're safe. A lot of these dogs are like, smaller than her, or they're not even trying to cause harm, or they're just near her and she's, snapping. These aren't real threats to her though, because she's not slowing down her process enough. Everything, okay, everything is sort of a threat. I also think it would be good for you to speak to her telepathically about how she really isn't feeling that threatened. It's a habit. So discuss with her habit of going in and snapping and then calming down right after that. It's almost like she's not even bothered. It's like, now that I ripped this other dog's head off, I'm like, I don't even care. I'm not even bothered. And it's like, okay, well, clearly then you didn't feel, I have to fix this puzzle on TikTok. Clearly then you didn't really feel attacked. You felt like annoyed, and it's habitual. So talk to her also about correcting that. And you could say things to her mentally, like, I would really appreciate if you could correct that so that we can have more harmony, more company, because you do enjoy having company. And she does. Okay. So it's enticing her and being like, you want more of this? Okay. I need these changes. Can we work on this? You're going to have to do this with her for a few months. I don't feel like this is going to be a quick fix or it's going to be like a one-time conversation, but I do feel like after one conversation, it will improve. So again, you want to do that right before you go to get together with other dogs, okay? Like leaving the house, whatever, do it right then. I also felt like there was something you could give her that feels calming. It almost reminded me of catnip. I'm going to have to yell for the rest of this because I have to fix this puzzle. But it almost reminded me of catnip. So when Ezzy is like wild, she's not allowed to go outside because it's snowing or whatever, I'll give her these treats. And the treats help her to sort of chill out a little bit. It's like little sedated. Yeah, well, not now, Izzy. I know you're not sedated now. No, you are a wild woman right now. Come on over. So there's this feeling of just being a little more chilled out so that, and she'll just like stare at me. I feel this working on him. So maybe there's something, whether you're talking to the vet or you're looking at organics or you're looking at, it feels very natural, like a very natural remedy, but maybe before those types of interactions, we're just kind of slowing our roll a little bit, calming the nervous system down, making the brain a little bit more chilled out so that it's less, these are my typical habits. And it'll allow for changes, that she wants to make to take hold. Yeah, I think after a few months, you can create new habits here for sure. Because that's really all it is. I'm just not feeling the level of threat, for the amount of reaction we're having. Spidey says, thank you. You are very welcome. Thank you. We have Angela Raven 2816 says, I do have a table for Lily, but it is her pictures. I didn't get the chance to get her ashes. I just have a paw print and her nails. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely beautiful. And that helps us so much to connect to them. I just want to say, for everyone who has a picture of their pet, a bed that they used to sleep in, one of their old toys, their ashes, the paw print, any of this, okay, their collar. I kept my dog's collar for I think I still have it in the attic. It's like 30 years. When you hold an object in your left hand, it's called psychometry. Okay, so you put an object connected to the pet in your left hand, and that is your receiving side. You close your eyes, and then you put your right hand, which is the power outside, over that object. Okay. And so you're just holding it, and it's like calling them up on the phone. You have an instant connection to them. And I'm not talking about you have an instant connection to the old energy from the object. No. I mean, their actual spirit, right? You can hear from them. That's the best way to call them up and sort of ask for them to come visit you in a dream that night, or to come through the house later on, or do you have any messages for me? Or I just want to let you know that I love you. But it is a direct way of making an energetic bond and communicating. Okay. And we all have something from our pets, some object. So it's a shortcut. Very powerful. All right, thank you. And do we have any other questions? I'm gonna go grab some balls for her, okay? Because she's just going bananas. Let me just get some toys for her. Hold on, Lizzie. Ooh, mama. Ooh, mama. Oh, okay. Where are we on? Marade, is that what I saw next? Coming up. Okay, Angel Raven says all the readings with pets. I'm sure some may be running around with your cat. Yeah, seriously, because there were a lot of pets here before I even got here. And then my Jesus passed just a couple months ago. I know, I would think she'd be playing with them a little bit more right about now. All right, let's move on to another one. So from Marade, we have, hi, Ivy, my cat Thor. Okay, Thor, cat, living. Always sleeps beside me, but lately he's been sleeping by my legs, which is where my cat, Ahsoka, sleeps. Okay. Ahsoka hasn't been in bed with me as much. Why did they change? Um, So this feels a little bit like a territorial issue. It feels like Thor kind of bumped Ahsoka out. And that's hard because you don't want to play favorites. You don't want to say like, well, this part of the bed belongs to her. You know what I'm saying? But and it wouldn't fix anything at this point anyways. Okay. Cause good luck getting her back over there. But there is this just something to watch for, that he may be doing that more than what you realize, kind of whether it's taking things away from her or bumping her out of spaces, not letting her like back. And you sometimes just have to monitor and know when to say, Thor, you're going to have to get down, or you're going to have to go out of the room or whatever, so that she can have some peace, like if she were there first, for example. I think you're going to be seeing more of this. And it could also be something very weather related, not to say that they're necessarily like outdoor cats, but it could be very related to this feeling of like almost like cabin fever. 1, 2, 3. This feeling of cabin fever, or, being, it's almost like a feeling of trapped and having to fight, for resources, which really I don't feel is happening. I feel like they have more than enough food and resources. But it's a mentality. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like being locked up for too long. Yeah, that's really all you could do about that, is starting to tell him like, no, you're not going to take this from her, whatever it is. Again, it really doesn't, it's kind of a perpetual ongoing situation. It's really hard because even once you do that, sometimes it's too late and Ahsoka will be off doing something else. And it's like, she doesn't want to deal with it. So, but I think she may be back. Feels like 2. I'm getting 2. Could it be 2 weeks? It could. I was going to say more like 2 months, where she's sort of regularly kind of reclaiming that spot. Okay. Yeah, looks like that's what's going on there. Okay, thank you for your question. And we are going to move on to another one. Arame from TikTok said, thank you so much. I'll talk to Princess Mustard about this. Yes, it really does. It does wonders. Telepathy, there's no easier thing than telepathy with a pet. Okay, because telepathy with humans can get a little complicated, but with an animal, it's just wide open. and they hear it better than anything we could say verbally, for sure. And do we have any other questions coming in? Maggie Smalls on TikTok says, hiya, my name is Michelle. Okay, so we're going to go with Michelle. I'm wondering if my living dog, Bugsy, has anything he needs to say to me, or if he needs anything he's not getting. Say or needs. Okay, Bugsy. Is there anything, Bugsy, is there anything you need that you're not getting? I mean, I think he could use more like scratching. I don't know if he had something going on in the inside of his ears for a while there, but it's almost like more scratching at the top of my head, especially if he was like sensitive about the ears for a while, or like didn't really like that as much, but it's like scratch the top of my head, more belly rubs. I wouldn't mind more of that. It's sort of like the ultimate form of attention for him. So if you were to measure everything out and you were to be like, well, Bugsy gets fed and Bugsy gets walked and Bugsy gets told loving things and Bugsy gets pats, and Bugsy sometimes gets like whatever, belly rubs, whatever, right? It's like this actually to him is the most important thing. So it's like he would trade in all that other stuff for more of this. So we want to do more of that, and measure how much attention he's getting based on the fact that he measures that as like the real attention, so to speak. There's also some talk of like balls. So I don't know if you have like big blue, that sounds so wrong. Big blue balls. I don't know if you have big blue. I don't think they're tennis balls. I mean, maybe they are. They felt like rubber though, like hard. And you may have, it's almost like just rolling or throwing. And maybe this is just in the yard. It doesn't have to be anything grand, but I do feel like the more we could do with me catching the balls, but it feels like with my mouth, like I want to catch them with my mouth. I want to, and it's like somebody's rolling them. That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody's rolling them. So that's fun. It wouldn't hurt to leave on. It feels like when you leave, you do leave some lights on. Wouldn't hurt to maybe leave on another one, like a bigger lamp, like a lamp. I don't think he likes overheads, but like a lamp and some sounds. I don't think he likes silence when you guys go, and you could do that more like music or a TV show, a pleasant TV show. Everybody Loves Raymond, The Golden Girls, something uplifting. That's like maybe on YouTube, like on repeat or something like that. And I don't really feel like there's anything more he would say to you other than, quality time together is important. I feel like sometimes he wants you a little more focused on him. It's like your head's always somewhere else. So maybe it's like when you're with him, you're like on the phone, or when you're walking, you're like doing other things. You're like, your head's always somewhere else. Like just try to spend a little more time really connecting mentally. It's like, be here with me, be here with me, be in the now with me. And I think it'll actually heal you a lot because it clears your mind. So that's part of the reason he's here for you, is to help you clear your mind. Okay. But first you have to kind of focus on his energy. If you ever watch that vampire series, probably any of them, actually. I think this was a common thing with vampire stories, but I'm thinking of True Blood, where they would do like the hypnotism through the eyes. It's like, this is something he actually does. It's like you look in his eyes, you just like are sedated. You're just very calm. Okay. So it's one of his skills. He would like to use it more and help you more with that. But there's a lot of love there. Absolutely. Very spoiled baby. Thank you, Michelle. We're going to move on to another one. All right. Who else do we have? Okay, we are at last call. So this is your last chance to go ahead and drop your $10 donation. Ask about your living or deceased pet. And if you want to book a pet reading privately or gift it to someone else, you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com to do so. Also, I do work internationally. So if you need Reiki, you need a psychic mediumship reading, love, finance, past life, anything. Okay. It's up on my website, and you could just use the simple self-booking system. Now I do have a lot of hours of availability, again, because I work internationally. So you should be able to find something. If you can't work with the schedule up there, go ahead and get yourself a video reading. All right. Do we have anything else? We have a Malakinshin 9330 says all cats, including Frank, also Cuckoo, Deceased, and Phoenix. Okay, so we are going to do Melakanshin wants to know about Frank, a cat, and Cuckoo, okay, who is passed, okay, and Phoenix, who is living. All right. So let's, and then there are no questions connected to this, or no explanation on Frank. Frank is alive, it feels like. Okay, I think I'm reading that right. Okay. So Ezzy, get it, mama, get it. Regarding the three cats, my name is Luda. Okay, Cuckoo was a stray who passed at 20-ish. Okay, so Cuckoo was a stray, and then Frank, emergency rescue, died in a fire. Oh, so Frank is deceased. Okay. And Phoenix is living, rescued self at age 3. Okay, is a rescue. Okay. God, Ezzy, what more can I do for you, mama? You can come up here. You can come up here and sit. I love you. I love you. All right, so let's look at these. I want to say let's first go with the pets here that have passed. You know, I feel like Frank comes around regularly with you, but it feels like it's only a few times a year. And it seems to always be in the house. I want to say through the kitchen area, a hallway going to a room on the right. Now, you know, you may also see him in your bedroom, but I feel like it's either through those parts of the house or it's in the front, like the outside porch or the front of the house, the front yard. And it's to get your attention. It's to let you know. And I feel like he never misses. He may also send you images of other cats that look like him, but he also wants you to watch out for black cats in general, like sending you love through black cats. It feels like a joke. It feels like a prank. You know, a lot of people see black cat and they think it's bad luck, but I feel like he's a little bit of a trickster in that. And birds as well. So this cat comes through as birds. Canaries in particular. So like any birds with yellow on them in particular, hummingbirds, small birds, little birds. And I feel like you have pictures. This looks like a photo album. This may be a rough looking photo album. Okay. Or like these pictures may be like old or getting ratty, or like maybe it's just disorganized a little bit, but it feels a little rough. There are pictures of him. And I feel like you should bring them out. I feel like you should take them out, and I feel like you should put them up, you know, somewhere, a bit of a memorial, maybe like on your dresser in your bedroom, like by your jewelry or something like that, like in the middle, but over to the left a little bit. But yes, he comes through and visits, and you know, still loves you, but is a bit of a protector for you, is really more there just to let you know that he's around, but that you're protected by the universe. I feel like one of the reasons he came into your life was also to help you sort of put things in perspective and to calm down some. And when we go over here with Cuckoo, this was, okay, the stray, you said, who passed as well. I feel sort of like latching onto you type of energy here with Cuckoo, where it's like, I have to be near her. I have to be near her. Now, this was in life, but now in passing, there is still a strong desire to come through and visit and give you love and make sure that you know that you're loved, but also to sit right on you. All right. So you may feel cuckoo like on your stomach, if you're sleeping on your side, on your shoulder, on your face, on your head. Okay. Like always on top of you somehow. And so there is a desire, like, I can't get close enough to her. Okay. I can't get close enough. So, Cuckoo would have like eaten you up. All right. And I just feel like there's a lot of gratitude here also. This is an animal that really kept a positive spirit, even though, they had been through some stuff and kind of a wild energy. Like when Cuckoo's energy comes in, it's very, very fast. Okay. It's very fast. It's like flash. I'm hearing like flash or a flash of lightning. I also think, we may come in with lights quite literally. So like cascading lights out of the corner of your eye or showing up as orbs in pictures and videos and stuff like this. So you wake up and the veil is lifted between the worlds and you see lights and orbs going off into the corners. Okay. But you can't miss a visit from Cuckoo because it is like so intense and really all over you. Phoenix. Okay, but I'm just hearing thank you for lovely life. Thank you for a lovely life. Phoenix, okay, who is living in a rescue, but there wasn't a question connected to this, so I'll just sort of go with whatever I'm feeling here. When I go with Phoenix's energy, I feel a little guarded, kind of like, just always watching, just always critiquing, just always using my discernment and trying to judge whether or not I'm going to run off and hide or I'm going to have a reaction to something. So this is like a guarding type of energy. And I don't feel like Phoenix just does it with like the house or situations. It's also with you. So it's protecting you. Although if something were ever to occur, I think Phoenix would be off, okay, hiding and not necessarily protecting as much as you could use. So it's more of a mentality. It's a gesture. It's the thought that counts, okay? But I think that there is a real sense of greater fulfillment here with Phoenix in life in general because you're giving him that. It's like I couldn't have accomplished anything. I couldn't accomplish anything until I was with you. So Phoenix is sort of, growing. It's almost like this image of someone going from being a baby and they were sort of stuck at baby levels for a long time. And then all of a sudden they're hitting elementary school, and they're up and running. And then they're in middle school and then they're going through puberty and, they're going through all the teenage change and then they're becoming a young adult. And it's like all these things are happening so quickly because it's like he couldn't do that until he got to you. So his development, is his big focus. And there's a lot of gratitude there. But again, a lot of protection, okay, over you as well. I feel like the only thing Phoenix really wants is to be able to, I want to sleep where I want to sleep. I want to jump up on what I want to jump up on. I want to lay where I want to lay. I don't want to be told no, which is a tall order. Yes. Hello. It's a tall order. Okay. But it's like, I don't want to hear no, I don't want to be told no. And, I feel like more treats. Can I have more to eat? Can I have more treats? Now, this doesn't mean he's hungry. This means I just want more treats. Okay. So that's not food. It's extra treats. You agree? You had yours. All right. We'll get some. We'll get some. As soon as we're done, we'll get some. Yeah. Okay. Becoming more happy, becoming happier, more fulfilled. This is a beautiful bond. This is a beautiful connection. Interesting. All right. Thank you for that. Do we have any other ones coming in? Maggie Smalls from TikTok said, thank you, Ivy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Maggie. Thank you. And okay. Edgar said, thank you, Ivy. Yes, I let Patches in yesterday. Oh, you did into my apartment. She was very curious. I bet she's very curious. She would never leave if she can have her way. I think that's good for you guys, let her in. A lot of cats have multiple homes, the owner, and they all think they're the real owner, so let her do her thing. But yeah, you're the chosen one. Melicontian said, Phoenix came to me after Frank. He is a black cat. Both have contusions on the ear. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. It's very sweet when something like that happens because they're really looking for just like finally a place to rest, and do whatever work they came here to do instead of just like survival mode, aren't we all? I saw you pop something else up. This was okay. I was wondering about my cat Bear that crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. I miss him so much. This is for Jennifer Standish 5047. Okay, so hold on a minute, Diana. Jennifer says my cat Bear, how adorable, crossed. Okay. Bear, for Jennifer, do you have any messages? Like looking at me like, who am I to ask such a ridiculous question? Like, I already gave the messages. Like I already came. Like I already visit her. I already did that. Okay. 2 to 3 dreams. Not just dreams. I don't know if he had something going on here or if you're dealing with that right now. Now, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but any swollen anything, we want to kind of nip in the bud. But there's talk of dreams. I come in the dreams, but these aren't all dreams. Sometimes it's like you're dozing off or you're waking up and you hear him. He said, hear him. I'm seeing him. So take it how it resonates. This could also not be you in bed dozing off or waking up. This could be like you laying on the couch, like I'm watching TV. I'm just relaxing. Like it's not as deep as sleep. It's just, chilling out. And then you see him. Now he said you hear him. So he deliberately sets out to be heard. You agree? Yes. He sets out to be heard. Okay. And so it's not just my voice. He says it's like knocking shit over. It's breaking things. Maybe it's like, so whether these be like plants, things that were up on the counter, it's like, how did this fall? How did this get down here? Or you got papers up and you're like, I know I didn't just sloppily dump these all over the floor. Like I didn't drop my bills on the floor like this. He's just trying to make sounds, by knocking things over. Sometimes it is audible. And purrs. I heard purrs on your face or purrs on your ear or purrs on the side of your head. So if you're laying down, if you're resting, this could be like hearing him purr, and he feels like he's got some weight to him, so it's like big purrs, big purrs. This is also symbolic of clearing energy from. So like basically wherever he lays on you, wherever you feel the weight of his energy, that's a part of your body he's trying to bring some healing to. So just know that is part of his agenda. And you may have a really busy schedule. He's showing me like your calendar on the fridge or your calendar up on a wall. I don't know if you have a picture of him on the fridge. I don't know what this is about the fridge, but there is something on the fridge. Watch also for things moving on the fridge. We're getting knocked off the fridge, but there's talk of you having a busy schedule, busy calendar. Okay. All the time. Busy, busy, busy. And I feel like Bear brought you down, to earth, kept you rooted, kept you grounded. And he still does that for you. A lot of love. I feel like he was, very spoiled, very happy. Yeah. It's kind of a picture perfect life. I think it really is. It's a little, fairy tale life. Edgar Velardes says, my cousin had a sweet dog named Coco, and she passed away a long time ago. Does Coco have messages for me? She helped me overcome my fear of dogs. Coco for Edgar. I'm sorry. What was Coco? Could you put that back up for a second here? Oh, Coco was a dog. Okay. Coco feels like a cat to me. So let me see what's going on with this. Okay. So when Coco comes in here, feels like a cat, acts like a cat, feels energetically like the size of a cat. Like is just very non-threatening, is very like not like a big you know what I mean? Cujo freaking coming at you. Like, I love dogs, but my God, I couldn't handle that a day in my life. It's too much. It's too much. It's like they're cat people and they're dog people. All right. They're just are. And I feel like Coco was the best of both worlds. It's very much like basically a cat, in a dog's body. I think maybe that's what you needed. You said Coco got you over your fear of dogs. That's probably exactly what you needed if you were ever gonna get over that overwhelm, that feeling of threat or whatever was bothering you. But I think that, when Coco comes in here, it was very more strategic than you realize. So, it's almost like she had a way with you of kind of watching to see where you were at energetically and mentally, and may have stayed over by this guy most of the time. It's like, I'm staying by his feet. I don't know if this was your cousin. I actually felt like he was like an overweight guy who sat in a chair a lot, maybe like drink some beers, but like, whatever, take it out resonates. There may have been a couple men there where it's like, I'm kind of going to be over here by this person and I'm going to watch you. And then I'm going to, come a little closer. I'm going to come a little closer and I'm going to give you opportunities to, it's almost like you wanted to pet him. It's like you were coming over to me. I'm like a cat. This is what cats do. It's like, I'm going to let you, kind of come to me. It's this feeling of balance in boundaries and energy exchange. I think that this was literally a big part of, Coco's reason for being in your life or for you crossing paths, because he actually brought quite a lot of healing to everybody in different ways. And he was like a mirror, like a reflection for a lot of people as well. Okay. So helping people to maybe see more about themselves, their behaviors, their tendencies, their anxiety, their whatever it was. Coco had a way of like bringing it all into perspective. All right. So very mature energy here, very strategic, really interesting. But yes, absolutely around, and very pleased that helped you. Because like that was the goal. That was the goal. He knew how to handle you almost like a cat. Like you were kind of like a cat. The whole thing is just funny to me. Like you were a cat. You were kind of like, don't touch me. Don't, you know what I mean? Hey, if it works, it works. All right. Do we have any more coming in here? Okay. So this is Mark and Mindy. We would like to have a reading from our rescue cat, Bishop. Okay. Let me see if, Bishop, this is for Mark and Mindy. Bishop is a rescue cat. We would like to have a reading from our rescue cat, Bishop, who passed away 15 years ago. He was a best friend. Okay. Mark and Mindy, Bishop, rescue cat. Bishop has a way of kind of strolling in here, very much like king energy, like a lion, like cool, calm, collected, in charge, unbothered. This is a cat who couldn't be bothered with nonsense. I feel like if someone crossed a line with him, he'd give him a whack and he'd set the record straight and he'd reclaim his territory. Like none of that. All right. But at the same time, he was also extremely loving and had constant gestures that were almost human in a way, where it's like he would come to you and he would let you know in a moment when you were stressed or you were thinking bad things were happening or you were, worried about your health or money or whatever. It's like he would come and he would make a loving gesture, even like with the paw. I just see like with the paw and then like looking at you. So whether it's like looking at your eyes, just kind of like trying to get you to look, and then it's like with the paw, I'm letting you know that I am here for you, which really is like a human. It feels like human energy. I don't know how else to explain that other than it's just a little more sophisticated and advanced, in the intention of like letting you know, okay, sending you energy. I am sending you Reiki. That's a very different approach than like, I'm going to incessantly have to get up on your lap. Okay. Or like, I'm going to sleep on your face tonight. This is very mature, and it was also very, I want to say one of the other things he's mentioning is that like, if you couldn't receive it, if you were too upset about things or whatever, he had a way of just being like, I'm going to send it and I'm going to kind of lay it at your feet, which is literally a Reiki term that we use. I'm going to lay this at your feet. You can pick it up when you're ready, if you're ready, whenever you're ready. Okay, or not. But like, I'm not going to stay here forever trying to push it on you or at you. So he had a way of then retrieving, and, just sort of go recess. Like, I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go live my life. I'm going to go over here. So he was also incredibly balanced about the way he did his healings and what he would offer. He wasn't like push, get this through. And he appreciates you guys. He appreciates you. And again, this very sort of sophisticated attitude of gratitude. And I'm just seeing him like rub his face like real hard, like just rubbing on you. And that may be something you feel. So he may come through and try to do that to like your face or your neck, especially when you guys are like sleeping, dozing off, waking up. And I hear him. I can't tell what I'm hearing. I don't know what he's trying to do. It's like, what is that noise? What is that noise? I don't know that he's trying to make any specific type of noise. What are you trying to do? Like a tapping, a knocking, or like something fell? He's doing what he can. That's what he's doing. He's like, I'm doing whatever I can pull off. So he has a way of kind of coming in, and it's like, whether it sounds like, a tapping or, more like that, more like on plastic, or something fell, you may hear that and be like, well, something knock over and there's nothing. This could also be doors, doors opening and closing and things like this. That's been his thing lately, is he's trying to make more noise. So you're catching a noise and you're like, where's that coming from? He can also do noise throwing, I call it. So it's like you're hearing something over here, but you're also hearing something over here. And they're these sort of indescribable sounds, these random, sets of like knocking or banging or something, so that's his new big thing. I would also expect to see him, I feel like all of you, in a dream. You may even be collectively together in this dream. Okay, but he's saying one. So that could be one dream. It could also be like tonight or within the week. So watch for him there. He loves you guys very much. Thank you for that question. What a gentleman. Jennifer Standish says, thank you so much. Bear always did bring me down, always was able to relax me. Yes, I am very busy, and appointment cards are on the fridge. Even when I look at pictures of him, his eyes fill me with love. So that's what's on your fridge. Yeah, your appointment cards, your schedule, he called it. That's hilarious. It's like I'm psychic or something. You can't make this stuff up. Jennifer also says, Bear passed from oral cancer. Oh, okay. I do have a neck gland that is swollen for years, and ultrasounds show nothing wrong. He was a Maine Coon domestic mix. Really, really gorgeous. Well, that's interesting. So he's trying to bring some, healing to that. Yeah, maybe a medical intuitive read on that at some point. Find it hard to believe they're not finding things. But he's maintaining it for you. Okay. We have another comment for CJG. This is a pet reading for tonight. I love my dog so much, is living. Could you let me know what? Okay, Zoe. Her name is Zoe. Okay. Could you let me know what she would want? Okay, to tell me right now. Zoe, living dog. What is she trying to tell me right now for CJG? Zoe. Zoe, what do you want to tell CJG? No, nothing really. It's just like running around, chasing my tail, running around in a circle. Okay. And then I'm out like a puppy in a pickup truck. Okay. I'm out. I am asleep. I am in a coma. It's like a drool, the whole thing, tongue hanging. This is a happy dog. I mean, this is a happy dog. I feel like sometimes you're looking at her and you're kind of thinking there's more going on, than what there is. She's pretty simple. This is like the polar opposite of the last reading I just did, right? These are polar opposite characters here. She's pretty simple. It's like, I am just kind of wild with my energy, whatever is catching my attention, wherever I feel like you need healing. So CJG, whenever you need something, it's like, that's where I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to give my energy. That's where I'm going to give my attention. I'm going to pour everything into that, pour everything. And then I'm unconscious and I'm sleeping and I'm snoring. Okay. So there's not a whole heck of a lot going on there. It's almost a reactionary, type of personality, but there's a lot of depth in that. She's very, almost like old soul, she's very, mature in that she knows what is positive and what is negative. Her discernment is sharp and on point, and she passes a lot of judgment. And I feel like she helps you or wants to help you sometimes, whether it's like sort things out or de-stress, decompress, pass judgment, be careful about where you put your energy, because when you're stressed, she seems to, it's almost like spiral. I feel like spiral and not know how to like help you. She's saying fix it, but I think she knows it's not her job to fix it. It's her job to help you. But she energetically, her nervous system feels like, I have to fix it. Okay. So use your discernment, use your judgment, try to keep things in your life as like peaceful as possible. And then that's when she could do more focus on like her own self, her own development, because she is a little bit behind in some of that. And that could be left over from a past life. That's another story, I guess. But, she does kind of want to get on to some more personal work. But it feels like lately it's had to be about you. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to pour into her. I also think that anything you guys can do that's like walking, earthing, nature, eating dirt, eating leaves, peeing on trees. Okay. I got to pee on every little blade of grass that exists on planet Earth. It's like whatever more you can do with that. That is like her thing. But it's like the longer, I don't want to say she's with you or the more grown up she gets to be, take it how it resonates, the more you're going to see that it's like the time in nature. She also seems to want you to watch. So it's like, okay, let's watch you pee on every blade of grass on planet. Okay. I'm watching. That's amazing. You did it again. It's like she wants you to, I don't know, clap for her performance or something. So there could be an increase in this desire. That's okay. That to her is going to be quality time. All right. I love it. Balls also playing ball. She feels little to me. And I don't know if she's just a petite little thing but it's like these look like small toys, So that'll be fun too. She may take up more interest in that than she has in the past. CJG said, yes, she loves walking and nature. She really does. It's her thing. It's like when she's becoming herself authentically. She would stay out there all the time. This is the kind of dog that would like, probably stay in the house most of the time. If she had a doggy door and you were to set up like a little dog house and everything out there, with some lights like Snoopy had, you catch her out there, quite a bit, but it's really more where you are. It's like, I want to go out. But if you weren't out there, I think she would just stay in. It's wherever you are, she wants to be. Very sweet. Very nice bond. Edgar says, before meeting Coco, when I was a kid, I was petrified of dogs. Now I love dogs. Thank you. Isn't that interesting? A cat who came to Earth to become a dog and help people like you. That's phenomenal. We can do anything in the universe. We can do anything. We work in all kinds of mysterious ways. Kim Princess 1 says, hi, everyone. My doggy. Hi, Kim. My dog, Lucy, walked on to heaven a week and a half ago. I am so sorry, Kim. Today would have been her 12th birthday, but it's heart-wrenching, really. Okay, Lucy. Let's see what message Lucy has. Um, I feel like you made her a princess. I feel like you made her everything. You know, she shows it almost like diamond rings and I don't know, maybe this was like part of her leash or something or outfits she had. Like it may have been like she was literally decorated. I mean, these are all symbols of like being a princess, but they're also symbolic of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, decorative. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, my brain is so fried tonight. It's so bad. Whatever, it'll come to me. But you know, she's really fulfilled, and I think that's really what she wants you to know is that she had a full life. She had fun. She did go through what seems like maybe some medical stuff and something with her arm, something with her paw, or her leg, um, where it was almost like at the joint not right once something happened or the bone was slipping or something. It was like never right. Like it was never right. Like even when I wasn't limping or it didn't look right, there was still like pain there. She was getting to a point where it's like, this isn't my style anymore. You know, this isn't princess style. This is like becoming the hard life, the labored life. May have been some stuff going on also with the organs or through the digestion or bathroom issues. And I feel like what you guys, you know, did for her was loving, always taking into consideration what was going to be for her highest and best good in your decisions with her passing and everything. Just talk of her liver as well. So there's a sense here of it being very soon and somebody in the family wanting to be over it already, or like maybe talk about getting a new pet or talk about distractions or try not to talk about it or try to, you know what I mean? There are some people around you that seem to like want to get over it already, or they're acting like they're over it already. And you're just like almost like disgusted with people or feeling betrayed or being like, you know, the loyalty between you and her is so deep. It's like there's an unbreakable bond that you may really feel, you know, for years. You're not necessarily mourning and grieving, but you're feeling extremely connected to in a really important way that alters your day. It alters your emotional state, your mental state. And so just know that you will continue to be connected. I think what she's really looking to do here is to, I see flickering lights, not literally, but like I'm seeing in my mind's eye, she's showing me flickering lights. So she will be draining batteries, you know, probably messing with the computer systems. You agree? The phone, you know, taking energy, okay, from different sources and trying to use that to let you know through what looks like lights and orbs, cascading lights and orbs, and also dreams to come through and visit you. Brief encounters in the dreams, but also I feel her popping in your head. So it's like you hear her. It's like I hear her. She's popping in my head or I hear her. Know that that's actually her reaching out. It's not you just thinking on her. Yes, of course, you're thinking on her. There's also talk of her space. So, like her memorial area. And I don't know why I feel like 3 shrines, but you may have like one more in the living room over to the right. There may be another one down a little bit lower. There may be something else on the other side, but I feel like 3 shrines or 3 memorial areas. And if you were here earlier in the show, I was talking about putting an object from your pet in your left hand, the receiving side, okay, and then connecting with them. Put your right hand over it and connect with her that way. She'll be using that. Knocking letters down as well. Knocking down paper, knocking down letters. Okay, a lot of love to you. Yeah, she transitioned well. Real easy, real smooth. She was ready. Love and Beloved says, thank you, Ivy. You described Bishop perfectly. He was very regal and loving. We've been hearing tapping. Yes. And a cat walking on the steps and wondering if it was him. That is confirmation. Isn't that funny? What a random thing. But you can't miss it. You know, it's like pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Love that. Thank you for the testimonial. Okay, and do we have any more coming in here? Okay, we are at time. All right, you guys, again, if you want to book a pet reading privately or gift it to someone else who's, needing a word. That's up on my website under pet readings. If you want to book a party, a psychic fair, or a reading of any kind with me, I do work internationally. Super simple self-booking system. Go to Ivy Rivera psychicmedium.com, and I will see you guys back here. What is it next? Is it Monday? Is it going to be that long? Maybe. I think it's Monday for Ask Ivy. Yeah, we do have the members only exclusive Ask Ivy show. If you want to become a member here, you get my undivided attention for an exclusive Ask Ivy once a month. That's going to be on Saturday, but you have to go onto my YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, hit the join button for that. And then, yes, I will have my normal Ask Ivy show where I take your questions of any kind. You can get your early questions in now. That's going to be on Monday the 2nd. So I will see you guys back here then. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Spirit.